right, friends, let's do it. I said I would come back on, and I wanted to come back on for good measure. Let me see who is here. Who is here? Who is here? Who is in the house? Let me wait for some of y'all. So, great evening, good evening. What's up, y'all? What's up, friends? What's up? What's up? What's up? How was the weekend? How is the weekend? How is the weekend? How was the weekend, friends? How is the weekend? Skitland gives us a lot of shows these days. I saw something today from. I'm doing good. Why is my mouse don't feel like it now? Where I'm waiting for it. I don't know what's going. Hold on, hold on. What's going on here? Okay. Kez, you're trying to join the live. All right, hold on, Kez. Give me a moment. Money bag 40. How is the weekend, for friends? Give me a moment, Kez. I'm gonna try to see if we can hook up a live stream. I have an hour to get this done. In fact, I wanted to come on because it's good football weekend. Well, it is football weekend. That's what y'all have up going on. Relaxing. I'm blessed. All right. Let me just. Well, hey, while y'all pop right in, right? While I'm pop in, while y'all come right in. Well, I'm having a wonderful weekend. It is tiresome. I'm a little bit tired. Um, that's what I'll say. I'm a little bit tired. Y'all know me do these videos all the time. I'm on here most of the times, to be honest, except when probably doing some, devotion or something to that effect. All right, so I came on specifically for see if we could talk custody. Evan, I think I wanted to bring. Hold on, Kez. There is a topic I wanted to get onto. I wanted to get to the topic of custody, and I think I see Evan, and I think I see It's nothing against what you got going on, Kez. It's no disrespect. That's not what's going on. I wanted to get into two topics. I wanted to get into the topic of custody agreement because Evan had like something, and I want Evan to kind of share his experience with the with how the system itself works. Evan, can you share that? You don't necessarily have to give us everything, but I mean, I think people wanted to. I wanted people to get like a feel as to how these things really work, because sometimes people don't get. I won't begin strength talking to Evan. Evan, I had Evan and I needed to talk. Linda is also somebody as well that has some words for us. Give me one moment here, Kes. No worries. Just give me a little bit. Let me see exactly if we can get some words out of them. Evan, can you speak? You don't necessarily have to come on camera, Evan. You don't have to come on camera. There you go. It doesn't necessarily that you have to be on camera, Evan. To be very, very honest, you don't even necessarily have to go on camera. I wanted people to get an understanding of males inside of the, what you call it, when it comes to the system. That's just kind of what I wanted people to get an idea of. Because me talking is one level of this, you know what I mean? But then I feel like you have other ways of this. Me is just one, I'm just one guy, you know what I mean? Honestly, I'm just like one of many. If that makes sense. You can, Evan? Evan, let me see if we can put a link. Evan, can you click that for me, please? I just wanted to see exactly. I came on specifically because of the whole custody kind of vibe. I wanted people to get an idea of how the system is treating many, because I feel like we say a lot of things about Anthony, and we say, Anthony should do this and Amber should do that, but maybe we're just saying it in vain. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. Iman is tired of the drama. You said it's a Shayla hater chat. I don't think so. M. Johnson, behave yourself. Behave yourself, M. Johnson. Behave yourself. The point of the matter is this right here. Yes, and I believe that Iman will get tired of everything that's happened. The point of the matter is, right now, Anthony's being treated just very poorly.
Like that.
What the hell is wrong with you? You got a whole man, a stranger, holding my son?
Iman is not a stranger.
He's not a stranger.
That is my man.
You've
so
known
yes, he
him
can
for-
hold.
Evan, are you there? If you're there, Evan, can you click on that for me, please? Evan, did you see that? Evan, can you click on this for me? Evan, the link is at the top. Can you click on that for me, please? Friends, I'm bringing Evan in because Evan has like a nice idea of Georgia, and I wanted to see exactly. I feel like stuff like that can be brought out. Evan? I feel like that's the idea. Anyway.
You've known that boy for a hot
It
second.
doesn't matter how long I've known him. You think I'm gonna be at home by myself and I don't have anybody while you over there playing house with Amber?
So because you're lonely, right?
It's not about me being lonely. I'm Kai's mother. I will make the decision of who holds him and who doesn't.
I'm still his father.
Oh, so now you want to claim him. Now you're the father.
How
right?
many times are we gonna go through that? I did the test because I wanted to make sure.
Right.
That's it.
Sure, Anthony.
So if that,
Upset and she vexed. Evan, have you seen it? Give me a moment, Kez. Give me one little bit. Hold on, Kez. I don't see it coming in as yet. Let me see if we can get it one more time. We get it copied. All right, Kez. Give me a little bit here, Kez. May I make sure I say, the topic get really discussed. Evan, did you see that, Evan? It says waiting on host. Evan, check this out. Look for this one, Evan. Can you click on that one for me, please, Evan? Unless it's my thing going weird. Evan, can you click on that one? Friends, I'm trying to get Evan to join us. Evan is from Georgia, and Evan has won a custody case, which would be good for us to listen how Evan win film custody case. It feel like it. Anywho.
that was the case, I wouldn't have been providing for him like I was.
Well, I don't care. All I care about is you coming in my house with that nasty energy. All you do is stop by and see Kai for a hot second anyways. Don't come in my house raising hell.
And what you
Who
think
do you
he
think
gonna
you
do?
are?
What you think he
What
gonna
are you
do?
talking about? It doesn't matter. Stop worrying about me and Iman.
I'm
You
not
are
worried
married.
about you.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
worried about my son.
Now you're worried about him. Well, I'm his mother who cares for him 24/7. I don't get to pick and choose when I stop by and see Kai. So I make the decisions about who holds Kai and who is in Kai's life.
She's making decisions here as to who holds Kai and who is in Kai's life. I'm going to try it again, Evan. Give me one moment. Let me try it again. I'm trying it again. I'm sending a new link over, Evan. This is the new link, Evan. This is the newer link. That's the new one. I'm replacing that one. She gets to make the decisions.
And what you gonna do about it? Nothing, because I'm his mother.
Nothing.
You low.
I'm low.
You are really low.
I'm low. I'm so low for moving on with my life. And I'm not playing by your rules anymore. So now I'm low. You're low.
Everything that I said to you about you is 100% true.
I don't care what you say.
She's just gonna have this stranger playing daddy for God knows how long, playing with my son.
At least he's not in and out of his life like somebody else I know. Yeah, well,
Whatever.
you go and worry about what's a priority to you, your wife, your life. Don't worry about us over here. We're good. And don't you ever come to my house and act like that again. I don't care who's holding Kai. If I said it's okay, that's what it is.
Or she'll strap him. Hold on, Evan. Give me one moment. Apparently she'll strap him. Apparently that's what's gonna happen to him. Let me see exactly if we can pull it up again, Evan. Give me one moment. Let me try to see exactly if we can get it pull it up again. So friends, if y'all just kind of picking up what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to get Evan to join us. Hold on. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in the area, but I can answer any question. Okay. Hold on, Evan. Give me 1 minute. Let me try something. In case y'all don't pick up what's happening, what is going on is this. I am trying to get Evan to come onto the live. I'm gonna try it one more time again. I'm gonna turn off interview and turn it back on. There we go. Interview, turn it back on. Da 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 da. Cam live interview. Copy the link. Evan, try this link. It could be on your end, Evan. Evan, try that link, Evan. Try that link. So for those who don't know what's going on, I'm trying to get Evan to come on. It may be what's on your end. So Evan was talking about this today, right? And I wanted to highlight at least someone who is having. There we go. Evan. There we go. Hold on, Evan. Hold on. Give me 1 moment. There you go. There you go. So hold on, Evan. Let me set up a screen. All right. So I had to have you come on, Evan, because I feel like people don't fully understand when men go through all of this. I wanted to kind of get an idea of. By the way, welcome. Thank you very much for watching the channel. Okay, so you live in the state of Georgia. You live in the state of Georgia, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you had like to go through the same like thing, like what is that like meaning like getting a kid then, in other words?
Well, me and my first wife, which is my ex-wife now,
Mm-hmm.
had a custody dispute where she did not want me to be able to pick up my son see my son unless I was at her house that I gave to her and my daughter. She would let my daughter come, but she would not let my son come.
Okay. So she would let your daughter go there, but not your son going there?
Yes.
Okay, so how old was like the kid at that point in time? Or like a
My daughter
range?
was 12. My daughter was 12 and my son was 7.
Okay. How did like the judge and them handle it? That's probably my question.
Well, I ended up getting custody of both of them because the dude that she was talking to at the time was smoking weed and he was, using a little nose candy.
Oh,
She wasn't using it, but
okay.
off the fact that I had proof that he was using it and my son ended up getting contact, my son and my daughter ended up getting contact from the weed smoke.
Oh. So based on that,
And they drug test her and the kids. They didn't find nothing in their system other than the weed or whatnot.
mm-hmm.
And she wasn't smoking, and the kids wasn't smoking, of course, but because he smoked in the house and sometimes around them, they end up getting contact from it.
Okay, so how do they look at that? Like when you go in there, is it that you like let the judge knows that hey, like this is what's going on, and based on that, how you line it up? That's probably
I
my
let
question.
him I let him know that my daughter was complaining about her stepfather, mama, boyfriend, however she wanted to put it, was smoking weed and she was getting sick from the weed smoke because she had asthma.
Oh, okay, so she had to testify. Is that correct?
No, they didn't ask her to testify or nothing. They just tested everyone. They couldn't make him take a test because she wasn't married to him, but
Mm-hmm.
they made the mother and the kids take a test.
Okay.
And the test that they failed the test, basically as if they were smoking them, but they wasn't.
Oh, so based on the test, when the test came back, that's what you're saying. Based on how the test came back.
Yeah, when the test came back,
Mm-hmm.
they gave me temporary custody, and then I ended up getting full custody.
Okay, so did they give the mother anything at all? Meaning like
She had to
what they
go
do
through
for the
some
mother?
classes.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go through some classes or whatnot, but it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
nothing really harsh.
It
And
was
she was
not big.
still able to get them. She was still able to get them, but he couldn't be around.
Okay, so she was still able to see them.
Yes.
Okay, because that's kind of what I was trying to say to people, like
Yeah,
because
but the man wasn't able to be around.
the man wasn't able to be around. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, because of what's going on. That's what I was kind of trying to mention to people that we do. Okay, I do these. I did like an internship at a particular place that I can't name, but you know what I mean. What we do for them
Yeah.
is like we get the mothers. So when we get the mothers, the kid would probably be taken away and be into the system. And then you'd hear the mother saying, "Hey, I gotta go through these classes," and after probably like 6 months, and you sign off for them. And when you sign off for them, then that's when now they give them back the kids. So that's kind of why I made the report as to how I made it. But no, based on yours, I'm realizing that it was a step above that. Like you were able to get them to do the drug testing. Now my question is,
Yes.
how do you get them to the drug testing? Is it that you just insinuate that and
I
basically
had
insinuation?
I had to get an attorney.
Oh, mm. Then the attorney fight it.
Yes.
Basically, I see. So in other words,
It's
the
it's not it's nothing easy about it. It's very hard because, again, I am a man, and just the state of Georgia, the state of South Carolina, North Carolina, all favors the woman. So it's nothing easy about it. It's hard, and you will have to get an attorney that's willing to fight that case.
and it
But if
takes
you
a
get an
while.
attorney that's willing to fight that case, you can end up getting custody. And they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to notify her of nothing until they actually
Mm-hmm.
drug test her.
Okay, nice. Rhonda is asking a question. Evan. Rhonda says, "Did Evan seek custody or visitation rights when going to court?"
I seek that custody. Um, I didn't want visitation rights. I wanted custody. So
Mm-hmm.
as of now, for my son, he's 16 now, so we have joint custody. They would never give me full custody though.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was pointing to. That's kind of what I was alluding to with a lot of women. I was saying it is tough as a man to get full custody. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's hold on. People are saying they can't hear me. Guys, can you hear me? Can anyone hear O'Neill? I think you can hear me. Hold on, let me make sure them can hear me. Evan, hold on. That's what I was saying. That's exactly. Hold on, let me make sure they can hear us. Can
Okay.
you hear us? Because this is very important. Because I feel like our community need these chats. Like people don't know these things unless like they hear them into the space, like they hear like a real story.
Yeah.
Because you'll say it, but people don't really. I just happen to get more contact with it because I work in the social services field. You get me? Like
Yeah.
I'm the guy who will
Yeah.
come by. I'm probably the person who will be checking. Well, this don't look right. That doesn't look right. All right, I think we probably need to be doing this and need to be doing that. So that's the idea.
Yeah.
So I guess
And
yeah.
because of the situation, she still has to get random checks until my son is 18.
So she has to get random checks till he's 18.
Yes.
Mm. So based on okay, try to use your scenario and the Iman scenario because I'm trying to say exactly if does that range up because Iman smokes, does it range up the same way?
If he's smoking inside of the house, and
Mm-hmm.
which according to the skits, because I watch the skits and I also watch you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so from what I have seen in Shayla mother saying that she smelled it in the house,
Mm-hmm.
he don't have to actually just sit and smoke directly in the house. If he's sitting where the smoke comes in the house, the child can still technically get contact from it.
Mm. So as long as there's contact in the state of Georgia,
Yeah,
it's
it's
liable.
just the contact. Yeah,
It's
it's
just
the
the
contact.
contact.
It's valuable. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And my attorney my attorney told me
Mm-hmm.
if I had more money, I probably could get full custody. So
Mm.
it's really like a money thing involved with it as well.
Which is what I figured that it is. When it comes to men, for me, I think it's just a money thing because it really is quite tough. Like, unless you're trying to, unless as a woman, and I don't know how that pens in Georgia, unless you're trying to move the child from one state to the next, that's when I say that you have issues. But when it just comes to just regular custody, I kind of feel like
Oh hell,
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Evan? I think you're good.
I'm not sure what happened.
You're good. Hold on. I think Evan is here, guys. Hold on.
Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
my phone went out.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
Mm.
Let me just make sure we can hear
Can
Evan.
you
Give
hear
me
me?
one. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Give me one moment, guys. I'm just working on the sound. Can you hear me? O'Neill is low. Someone says O'Neill is low. Let me see if I can get my volume close to whatever it is. Evan, can you hear me at all? Evan, can you hear me? Hold on. Let me try to put a note to you. Give me one moment here. Give me
I'm not
one
sure what's
moment.
going on.
Hold on, friends. Hold on. We're trying to establish a connection here, guys. You can hear Evan. We can hear you, Evan. Evan, we can hear you. Evan is dropped, guys. He's gonna come back on again. I'm loud. That's what I didn't want. I didn't want to be too loud. Hold on, Evan. I'm coming right back on. There you go. Evan,
My
we can
phone,
hear you.
my phone had went out.
No worries. I can hear you.
No worries.
Hopefully, I'm
But
not.
yeah, it's a money thing. I mean, sad to say, but it is.
It's a money thing. If you had to take an estimate, how much something like that costs? Just an estimated
Um,
figure,
you can range anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000.
just like that. And then
Easy.
you have to pay for the test that they do, or does the court just pay for that
The court ends up paying for the test through the DSS system.
to the DSS system? Okay,
Yeah, but
and
for us fighting it through court and the attorneys and everything, you're looking at between $5,000 to $10,000.
to $10,000. Are you guys hearing this? If you guys have any questions, and I'm making sure them ask your questions, Evan, because people we not all understand this the same way, so I want to make sure people understand this.
No problem. No problem.
Hold on, let me make sure. Questions. Evan is giving y'all this, guys. I'm giving y'all some ideas here. So just so you guys have kind of ideas as to how this works in Georgia. Great information because again, you don't know these topics until you raise them. But if y'all just coming in, Evan has already let y'all know that number one, sure, he now has custody of the kids, but I think you share custody with her. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's joint custody.
Is joint custody. So in other words, he doesn't even get full custody. So for those who are thinking that Anthony was just going to get, Kai, not even that is there yet. And kind of that's what I was alluding to. So for you, do they have like physical custody with you?
Yes, they come and stay with me just about every summer,
Mm.
every other holiday, and of course, they give us Father's Day,
So
but
when
that's about it.
that's about it. So where do they go to school from? Her address
They
right
go
here.
to school from her now.
Oh, which would mean that she now has because here in no in Louisiana they look at that as physical custody.
Yeah,
As well as in other words, so physical custody is the person that has the child like in their care, so like meaning they go to school there, in other words. Then
yeah.
are you able to like file taxes for them? Let me ask you that.
I can file taxes if I had really pushed the issue for it, but I didn't want it
See, that's what I mean.
because
So
to me it wasn't a to me because when they asked that question and the look from the judge and from the other attorney, it was basically like, oh, he's doing this because he wants to be able to file the taxes and get money, and he
mm,
wants to get out of paying child support. My son mother gets $1,000 a month
you guys listen to this, so I'm showing y'all exactly how this works because this is kind of what I was telling people. They don't understand that.
because I'm
Mm-hmm.
because I'm self-employed. Because I'm self-employed and I run my own business. They ran off of the taxes and everything. They said, "Oh, you're gonna give her 250 a week."
That's basically it. I want
Yep.
people to hear this. And you see, I wanted people to hear this because when I tell them that, hey, this is exactly how the court system works, they're like, no, O'Neill, no, it's just, and I'm like, no, that's exactly how the court system works. It's not really
Yes,
built like that for men. It really is most built for women. It really is. But I
it
thought that
is.
I thought that you had gotten full custody where you were having the kids all the time. I
I
didn't
thought
know.
I was going to end up with full custody as well, but after she completed the process, which
Mm-hmm.
she went through this program, and after her going through the program, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was like a year and a half, just about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
After she completed the program, they gave the child back to her.
It's like I said, man. It's like I said, because I used to work in like a little center. I used to work in a center where this is kind of what it was. The mothers would go down the rungs, and I'm like, if that was a dad, if that was a dad, he would have never even seen the light of day when it comes to that kid. But when it comes to like the mom, they will give so much like just leeway, and the mom can try to rehabilitate, and she can try to do as many classes as she possibly could, and everything just works out for her. I don't know how it works like
Yeah.
that, but hey, you see that portion of
And
it.
then once she completes that process and everything else, during the process she did not receive any child support or anything. But once she completed it, everything went back to normal.
Back to
Y'all
normal.
have joint custody. The kids go to school from her home. You get the kids on the weekends. You get the kids on every other holiday. You
Mm-hmm.
get the kids on every other summer break.
Makes sense. Let me see if I find the questions in the chat. Cause people, hold on. People might have a one or two question. Let me see if they have any question. Evan, can you
No
call?
problem.
Can you call and school? You must call and school Anthony. Hold on, Evan. I'm looking at the chat. I don't be able to solve the y'all. Bro is here with the answers. Come on. Questions, guys. Questions. What kind of questions in the app? Vital info that he shared. Yes. By the way, Evan, thank you very much for really and truly like coming forward and
No
bringing
problem.
this out. Because sometimes
I enjoy
yeah,
watching your show.
yeah,
That's
these
when
skits are
I'm
like
free and I
just
can get on there. I get on there.
yeah, for me, I listen. I come on here because I feel like I don't know everything. I have like a grasp of a couple of things, but it's always good to listen to like how different people experience in different things. And I know that
Yeah,
the skits have so much value in them that I'm saying to people. They look like nonsense, but the skits them have value in them because there are
yeah. They
certain
have some
scenarios.
value.
Yeah,
They have
there's
some value in them, but what Anthony's doing right now is just
is
stupid.
is
He
what's your
he
take on
he
Anthony?
he has so much more leeway than what he think he has because he
Mm-hmm.
pays for everything.
Mm-hmm.
He,
It's crazy.
I don't even know what to say on it. I mean, and
So I did a
only
calculation
thing I
earlier.
can say is weak. Only thing I can say mainly is weak.
He
He
is
weak.
weak. He definitely is weak. I can agree with you on that one. I think Anthony passed weak at this point in time, and he should be doing
Yeah.
more things for a millionaire. My so let me ask you this, because I think I looked on the child support scale in Georgia. So are we right that with hold on, Nanya asked that question. Nanya, let me ask the question first and making sure. She's asking the question, Evan. Did Evan have a choice in visitation? Did he have a choice?
No, they gave me what they wanted to give me.
You hear that, Nanya? So basically, so in other words, you weren't able to choose what you wanted to do, then just say, hey,
No.
this is what it was.
While she was going through the process,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like I had won, and it was going to be the way I wanted it to be. Me having my kids, me making sure they have the best life.
Mm-hmm.
And after she completed the process, it was like, okay,
That's it.
this is what it's going to be. This is what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time frame you're going to get. But y'all have joint custody. You have just as much rights as she do. But in all nationality, if you really look at it, I don't.
Yeah, because you
And
don't. Because
they
if she
states
have
that I do, but I don't.
yeah, you don't. Because then again, if she has physical custody, and I have an experience with this from another client I'd had before. If you have physical custody from another person like that I've seen, as soon as a client, if you have physical custody, you can move the kid from one school system to the next. That's a whole different type of
Yep.
custody. So I realize that you have the visitation, you have the joint custody where I guess y'all are making joint decisions, but It giant, but it not so giant. Because if she
Yeah,
does
yeah,
something right,
exactly, exactly. It's joint, but not so
it's
joint.
not so joint. They give you that, but unless you have full custody, you don't really have much of a custody. I mean, you know what I mean? Well,
Yeah,
you have some things, meaning you can see the kid, right? You can see
yeah.
the kid, and that's
You
cool.
can't stop me from seeing my kids. You can't
Correct.
stop me from taking my kid anywhere.
Correct.
Like before that took place, say I go from Georgia to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't contact her and let her know that's what I'm doing and she's in agreement beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
that's considered kidnapping.
Oh, they consider if you don't let them know.
Yeah. If you don't have joint custody and you
Mm-hmm.
take the child out of the state across the
Yeah.
state lines, that's considered kidnapping.
That's interesting. I've seen one of that before. And then the kidnapping charge, I think you have to use a certain law when you work on that one. So that's also something
Yeah.
as well too. Which is because anything can be considered as kidnapping. Because I mean Georgia, I've driven through the states of Georgia. So I know you can easily drive from Georgia and 2 2s, you're probably in Alabama or one of them other states.
Exactly.
It's not hard for you to be driving and be like, hey kids, let's check this out or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you're in
Yep.
another state. So I know
Yep.
it's really really easy. Let's see. It truly depends on the state because I know fathers that have been successful. We're not saying guys are people not successful in getting the kids back. What we're talking about in terms of does it happen all the time and what kind of rights do you get? Evan is giving you an instant where because I think we were talking about in case y'all are just coming on, we're talking about the whole idea of the smoke from
I'm
what's his
on.
name? From Iman. And Evan is giving a scenario that is just about as similar. He's giving you one that is just about as similar. And with all of that, based on what Evan is mentioning, it still is joint custody and it still is that she has physical custody. So what does that tell y'all? What does that tell y'all? The system just built a certain way. That's all it really is. You know what I mean? That's all it really is.
Yeah,
That's
the
all it really
system
is.
is. I know Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, is woman rights states, and they're gonna side with the woman most likely before they side with the father.
Not just those states. I've lived in Louisiana. That is like that there too. I've lived in
Okay,
in California. It's like that there too.
but see,
I
I don't
did
know
some
about them
stint
areas. So
New York. It's like that too. Listen, that's what it is when it comes to even if you go to Jamaica. The truth
I
is,
know, I know it's like that in Haiti because my grandfather, my father, them is from Haiti,
oh, okay.
and they say it's the same way there. So I mean, it's
That
not
is correct.
surprising.
That is correct. Woman has a lot of there's a lot of rights that the woman has that sometimes I don't think she know because I can't
Yeah,
find the plug to my computer. What? Come on. Linda is supposed to come on because Linda retired as a legal and I want her to come on and kind of make some nice to whatever it is. So with Anthony's thing, I was asking the question with child support before Nanya's question. For child support, do they have a cap with a child support based on your knowledge? Because we didn't look it up, but it
based
looks
on
like.
my knowledge, the most I think I got a buddy. He's a millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's maxed out at about 3,800 a month.
There you go. That's what I was trying to tell everybody else. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. So in
And when
case
I say
anybody,
he a millionaire, he a millionaire.
there you go. There you go. So Anthony, there you go, will not pay more than 3,800. I thank you very much for that because you see that's what I was saying. That's what we read to with the law, but I wanted to make sure. That's what I was saying to people that I think he'd work it cheaper. He doesn't know this, but it would be cheaper for him to go through child support than all of this fandango that he's going through. Because when he pays Shayla 10 grand, paying the rent, paying all sorts of different things, plus doing whatever it is. Now, does your friend, out of curiosity, I'm not blasting him, he doesn't pay for the rent and all that stuff that Anthony's doing, right?
No, he don't do
Okay.
none of that.
Okay. Because I ain't doing that either. I don't care what the ladies say. I'm not doing that. If I pay child support, that's it. that's
He
that's
start
it.
he started off doing what Anthony's doing
Mm-hmm.
because I mean he wasn't married now, but he started off doing the same thing Anthony was doing, with trying to do what he needed to do for his child because that was his first child.
Mm-hmm.
And then she took advantage of it, and he just stopped, and she put him on child support. And
Mm,
they said the max was I think the
3,800.
max was at like right at 3,000. and he agreed to pay 3,800 because he wanted his child in private school.
Okay, so he just paid for the private school. So in other words, it really had
The,
maxed out.
the yeah, he had maxed out at 3,000,
Beautiful.
but he wanted his child in private school, and for the child to be involved in the stuff, the activities and stuff in school,
Mm-hmm.
plus the school tuition every month. It came out to about 3,800 a month.
It came on to about that. That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay, okay. And then does he get like any visitations and stuff? Does he get to keep his kid like you?
He has visitation rights. He don't have joint custody because
Oh,
the child was born outside of wedlock, so they never would give him joint custody, being
never.
that the fact that the child was born out of wedlock.
Huh. So if the child is born out of wedlock in Georgia, they don't give you joint custody.
They didn't. I'm not gonna say they. No one can get it, but I know he fought for it for about a year and a half, and he never got it. He has
Mm,
visitation rights, where he gets the child every weekend,
okay.
and I think sometimes he get the child during the summer, but I'm not 100% sure.
So he gets the child sometimes in the summer.
Okay,
One moment, Linda. Hold on.
everybody, can you see me?
We can see you. We can see you, Linda. We can see you.
Oh,
How you
okay.
doing?
Yeah, it's been a long day. I look a hot mess, so hey.
That's fine, Linda. That's fine. That's fine. I have Evan on here, and Evan is providing like some real good information. Kez, just hold on. Give me a moment.
Okay.
There's a reason why I made sure I pull
Hi,
up Evan.
everybody in the column. Hi.
Tell him hi. Tell him hi. There's a reason why I wanted you and Linda to come on. Yourself and Evan to come on because I feel like y'all have like some
Let me get
vital
some more
info.
light.
Y'all
Uh
got
huh.
like real good info, you know what I mean, to bring to the channel and bring to like the community. Like people watch this. Hey, you never know who may be going through the situation and don't know their rights or don't know that they could try this or try that. Cause that's all they really need. You know, sometimes that's all they really need. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but Evan is mentioning, and what I was saying before was we were talking about the whole idea of winning over that full custody. But again, Evan is mentioning that he didn't win full custody either with his state. He got joint custody.
Okay.
Is that right, Evan?
Joint custody.
Yeah, joint.
Joint custody. So he has joint
Uh huh.
custody. The mother has physical custody and joint custody as well. So in other words, well, she have joint
Yeah.
custody, but she has the physical custody. So she is the one that they go to school from and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
based on,
So,
go ahead, Linda.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Finish.
So I wanted to ask you because you had like some amount of insight that I wanted to kind of spread on. How are you seeing the landscape from the legal side of things? I wanted to hear from your. Hmm.
Okay. We're talking about the Anthony situation, right?
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So legally, I'm not on this page as an attorney, so we're gonna just talk
Yes.
about that. Okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me
So
get a
here
disclaimer, Linda. Let me get a disclaimer, guys. This is not legal advice. Evan is not giving
at
legal
all,
advice.
this we're
Linda
just
is not giving legal
talking
advice.
like
We're
on the
just giving
skit.
opinions.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So I don't know about every state,
Hmm.
but I do know in the state of Michigan, and I do know the state of New York.
Okay.
Um, and aboard most East Coast line,
Hmm.
um, when you okay, it's two fathers going against when they go to court. You got
Hmm.
Arby, and then you have Anthony.
Hmm.
Well, here's the thing: there's no way of getting out of a blood test.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
both fathers in this case, because one father is on the birth certificate.
Hmm.
Okay, and one father has taken two DNA tests.
Hmm.
Therefore, in the state of Georgia, I believe operates the same way, but just a little different.
Hmm.
But even in Georgia, they would definitely have to take a blood test. Now, in Shayla's case, she's in a real sticky situation because she has two guys claiming the father. So, where she should be scared at is because now They had to definitely take blood from Kai, Anthony, and Arby. So the DNA tests that she have taken in certain states, that's none and void when it comes to the Supreme Court. They have to do their own testing.
Well,
So although they took those two tests,
mm-hmm,
well, in her case,
mm-hmm,
they would have to retake a test. And in most cases, it
mm-hmm.
will probably be a blood test.
A blood test. I got a question for you, Linda. So in the case
Hmm.
for Arby, right? Arby was not
Yes.
fighting everything else because Arby had said that Arby kind of just took his test and said that he's taking his name off of it. So if Arby is not fighting to be the dad, does that change how it would pretty much operate or no?
Yes, it
No,
would. It would definitely change because at this point, Arby is totally giving away his parental rights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Arby could contest that he will have to he will have to sign a petition
Mm-hmm.
through the courts, letting the courts know that he don't want to battle that. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
don't want no parts of it, and he's willing to come up off the birth certificate with no hassle. So it's still he will have to still go through a process when it comes to dealing with the Supreme Court. Now, I must say this. Now, to do what they're doing, that's held in a regular court, okay? To do
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. But anytime it concerns a birth certificate or a name change,
Mm-hmm.
that goes directly to the Supreme Court,
Okay.
which is the higher court, okay?
Okay.
And it is no way of getting out of taking a blood
A
test.
test from the Supreme Court. Okay.
Yep.
I
You
I got a
you go
question.
through a lot. You go through a lot. It's not easy. And I'm gonna share this with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my children, the baby, she's by one of my other children, so I end up adopting my she's my great granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's my great granddaughter. Okay, so I legally adopt my granddaughter, which is now the mother of my second little baby, right? Which is my great granddaughter. You follow me here,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
everybody? Because I can't see the comments. So the no fathers didn't contest anything, but the Supreme Court still does not look at that. Okay.
Mm.
So what I did is I had to find the guy,
Mm-hmm.
but at the time the guy was in jail. So I had to petition the regular courts
Mm-hmm.
to make him get a DNA test while he was in jail.
Mm.
Okay. So they allowed him to it was a fight. It's not none of this is easy, regardless if you're attorney or not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fight him to get that test done. Now, what the guy did is he still refused to take the DNA test. So it was drowned out for a whole year. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually he got caught up on some more charges while he was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So his attorney says your best thing is to get some of these charges off of you. So why don't you go ahead and take
The
that
DNA
test.
test. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh, take that test. So what happened is he ended up taking the test, and when the test came back, and then one of the reasons why he was in jail because when my daughter was in the hospital having a baby, he ripped up the copy with her last name on it for the birth certificate, and she was drowsy and she was ill, so they gave her medicine. She went to sleep, and when she had signed the certificate papers, the nurse came in and got them. As the nurse was walking out, he stepped in and says, "Hey, I'm the father, and I didn't get a chance to sign the papers."
Mm.
So the nurse went back and gave him another sheet, and what he did is wrote all of his information down. as claiming to be the father. So how he landed up in jail because he frauded.
Oh.
Right. He fraud, it was a fraud. White collar crime.
Mm.
Okay. So now it took a whole year to fight him to take a DNA test because he didn't want to do any more time for what he did. So eventually his attorney talked to him. Then they end up just say, hey, come up off some of these charges, just take the test. And you will get a little time or something.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he took the test. He found out he was not the father.
Mm-hmm.
So he did do a little time for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing. I had to. The only way I was able to get her name changed from taking it off the birth certificate is then I had to present myself back in court, and then I basically won that battle. Then next step, I had to go to the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court is not as easy to handle as regular court. So you have to come with your A game when you're going to change any type of documents that have name changes, or you want to change your name, or name changes and birth
Mm.
certificates. Do you
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, it also has to go through the Social Security.
Mm. I see.
Do
I
you
see.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I see.
Right. It also had to go over to Social Security. And because Shayla had, and this is the reason why her case is tricky, because Arby name's on the birth certificate, that means they gave that baby a Social Security number under
Unidentified.
under the birth certificate. Right.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Now, right. So it's a real sticky situation with Shayla. And that's why I hope that even if Arby is dropping out of the seat,
Mm-hmm.
that she has her ducks enrolled. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's not easy going up in any state. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't really know your laws over there on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the West Coast laws, but I can tell you, no matter where you from, the West Coast or the East Coast, when
Mm-hmm.
you start at any time you're doing a name change or birth certificate, um, you're going up with the big dogs now. Do you understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I figure what you're
And
saying.
so
Mm-hmm.
you have to have all of your ducks in a row. Now, I will share this with you, just a little added on, okay? This
Mm-hmm.
is it, just in case anybody out there want to know. Now, you won't have to have so much paperwork depending on the child's age.
Mm.
If the child is 14 and older,
Yes.
you might have a better chance without going through all of the DNA stuff, because now the child is considered law, is responsible to speak up for themselves. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? They're in their right mind.
Okay.
So, but if the child in any factor that is young as Kai or baby, that's a fight. You
That's a
you got to
big
come with
fight.
the A game.
Mm.
Yeah, because in some cases, like in New York, if it's a court order, um, if it's a court order DNA
Mm-hmm.
done by the courts,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have no problem. But in some cities, they will take a DNA like Anthony's and Shayla's without even doing a blood work. That's where
Mm.
it gets tricky at. Some states they will accept what Anthony already has in his hand without doing any blood work.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have some states, once you go to that Supreme Court and start doing name changes and birth certificates, 9 times out of 10, if the DNA is not done
Mm-hmm.
like through the court system,
Mm-hmm.
you might have a chance of having a problem there. And that's where the blood work come in, and that's where the state says, hey, you got to, do this through us before, because it's a long process. She's got to change the social security, the name, not the number, but the name on the social security card. Then that's another whole battle. She got to go after she does get approved from Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Then she has another battle on her hand.
Okay.
um the other battle is she got to go to the social security, and then she has to petition them, and then they might give her a fight because social security is harder to get a name changed on a social security than it is a birth certificate.
Mm.
So she got a road ahead.
So this
If
not
this
really
was in real life, I'm saying,
in real
if
life.
this was in real life, we're just talking about skits. But if this was in real life,
Mm-hmm.
um Shayla, to get all of this stuff done realistically, if
Mm-hmm.
this was real, it takes it takes like about 3 to 4, probably 2 to 3 years to
That's a
really,
while.
yeah, to get it all, the ball rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and to really get approved, and sometimes up to 3 years. So this is if it was in real life, especially if you don't have everything in order.
All lined up.
But in her case, she at least have one of the fathers, you know what I'm saying, willing to tap up out the scene.
Hmm. So the court
Yep.
really wants the father to be there. I have a question for Evan. Evan, I'm gonna let you pop on. With your case, Evan, did you? Because someone asked a question. Elizabeth asked a question just now, and I wanted to pose her question, and then you can go ahead with it, Linda. And thank you very much for that, Linda, for being on. Because trust me, you're providing vital info for the audience. Elizabeth's
Okay.
question was: does the court give the children a choice as to who they want to stay with? Did in your case, Evan, did the court give you like a choice as to who the kids wanted to stay with?
Like Miss Linda said, once the child is 14 years old, the child can make the decision who they want to live with.
Oh, so in
Mm-hmm.
that state, it's the same age. That's what you're saying. The child is
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
only 14. Gotcha. So they could
Where
choose.
you at, Evan? On the East Coast?
Georgia.
He's in Georgia.
Oh, okay. You in Georgia? Okay. That, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they, in other words, it comes down to that. So at this point in time, really and truly, is the courts. I see. I think I see what you're saying, Linda. What you're saying is that the courts get more involved because the child is much younger. When the child is much
Yes.
older, which is past like say the 14 or so, then sure, kind of can swing it a little bit more. That's kind of what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's a little bit easier. Like in his, how old are your kids, Evan? How old are your kids?
No, he's 16.
Oh, okay. See, like in that case, it's a little easier. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a lot easier in a lot of states unless you have a bullshitting ass judge or an attorney that is really not fighting for your rights. I used
Mm-hmm.
to be an advocate lawyer, so I was the person that you come to when other lawyers failed you. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
get the job done, then you will come to me so I can look back over the case and see loopholes and to fight for your rights. So it's a tricky situation, but only thing I can say, I don't know how Georgia really works, but will tell you this: they might have RB, because of the baby Kai. He's
Mm-hmm.
still such a young baby. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he's a baby, even though he's not even a toddler yet. He's still a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, technically they might even, like I said, I don't know much about Georgia law, but they might even go as far if Wayne and them write the skit in the right way to
Mm-hmm.
make it look more realistic and follow Georgia law rules. In a lot of cases, Arby would still probably have to take a blood
DNA
test,
test. Oh.
but a DNA test. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, some like here in New York, I'm in New York. Um, so if anybody on the line, shout out. so so like I was saying with in certain cases in New York, um every now and then I've seen the Supreme Court um like back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
um took like DNA tests if it came from your doctor. Do you
Okay.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day.
So
It
sometimes they'll
because
kind of
they really
just say,
did,
you know what, it's
right,
fine. We'll
because
just
they
check
really
that.
didn't have they really didn't have home testers like they do now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like back in the day, the Supreme Court at that time, um, when you went to go get a DNA, it wasn't from a ordinary clinic. It was actually from your doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your family doctor, who had to do the test. So at that time, the Supreme Court was allowing those tests to be presented in court. But
Mm-hmm.
now times are changed. And listen to this, guys. I'm literally still picking up, because I'm here, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and been in living in New York for over 3.5 decades. So I am steady picking up law books. You know what I'm saying? I got like so many freaking books because they keep flipping.
The law change.
And I hate to say this, but New York is one of the main states by it being a blue collar state.
Mm-hmm.
It's a freelance state. So when you're living in a free, see, I'm from Michigan, that's a white collar state. So when you're living in New York, this is a blue collar state.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is they get blue collar states, they get to change their rules almost every year. It's a different law. So you have to keep practicing. So what I do now is I just forever keep picking up books because time it just keep changing. You know, like,
It makes
wait a
sense.
minute, it was a law like this last week. Oh, we don't have that no more. And New York is one of those states that absolutely uh is able to get away with that. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
As
That makes
opposed to
sense.
a lot of other, as
Other
opposed to a
states.
lot of other states.
Mm-hmm.
I think New York, and I hate to say this, California is a copycat because because after reading so many books,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that California is one of the ones besides Florida is starting to try to pull that little trickety trick.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
know, they're throwing some new stuff on in the game. So I'm like, wow. So hey, they're learning from the worst of the worst, and they're learning all of New York's dirty secrets. So
that is true.
so only thing I can say about the Kai and Anthony situation, it's a real dirty. It's real dirty right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
wicked to the point where I almost wanted to stop watching it because I was like, "Oh my God, this is really vexing my soul, my spirit." You
I
know,
know it does. I know it does. I know
I'm
it
an
does.
earth child, and it's so funny because one day, Shayla had said she was a Virgo, and I said, "Dear Lord, help me, God, I'm a Virgo, and I ain't nothing like that."
She's one of them bad
It
Virgos.
made me hate her. It made me hate her even worse. I said, "How dare she do the Virgo community like that?" Yeah, so it's like that. So I hope I was some help into just giving you a little bit of how the law, real law works.
Definitely,
Now
definitely.
I got in too late, so I wasn't able to hear Evan, what was really going on with Evan.
Well, Evan,
You know.
Evan was kind of giving like just some insightful info because I asked Evan about like the whole idea of the smoke, and I think
Hmm.
Evan, can you kind of, is it okay if you
I
describe it
can.
again to them? That's fine. Just give them like a brief
No,
synopsis.
I was just
So,
saying, like,
mm-hmm,
because of the weed smoke or whatnot,
mm-hmm.
regardless if he smokes directly in the house or he's smoking close by the door, if that smoke gets into the house, that the child could pick up contact from the smoke. I seen that
Yep.
firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna be truthful with you. Depending on
Mm-hmm.
and this is where it gets tricky at with Shayla, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, weed follows you,
It
okay?
does. It does.
Weed follows you. It'll follow you to the grocery store, it'll follow you to the doctor's office, it'll follow you to the gas station.
Yeah. Weed is love.
Once you light up that stogie, baby, it's popping and it's on.
It is love.
Now, Anthony, I guess the writers are not allowing him
Mm-hmm.
to say so many things. And I don't think today Iman was actually smoking weed. I don't think he was. But if a person if a person is a chronic weed smoker as Iman, then what it does is it get embedded into its skin. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think weed leaves the person's body within a few days. But I have literally seen the courts do a test on a lady that she was such a heavy weed smoker,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to clean up her act. So they told her in a month to come back, so they can take a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
Now the lady swears up and down she didn't do anything. She didn't have any weed smoke. But the courts are so tricky and conniving, especially when, and I'm not trying to be racist, anybody here. The courts are really sneaky and conniving that people don't realize that they have tests in court that science is so strong that they can take a test without when they take that urine from you in court and they can run it through a machine and it can practically tell you exactly when you had that last joint. Now, she said that she
Really?
smoked a month, okay, a whole month. But because she had been smoking weed for 20 something odd years, the weed had and bonded in her DNA.
Oh, so
So
she
when
was
she
low.
took that test a whole month later, it still showed her as an addict as if she had just smoked that joint fresh.
Wow.
And they put her away. They put her away. The father got custody of her kids, all of the kids,
Full
and
custody.
they put her in a rehab, and she lost custody of her children.
Was
So
it full
you
custody,
have
Linda?
to really be careful, huh?
Was it full custody?
They end up getting full custody because it was her third strike.
Oh, okay. See, there we go. That's what me and Evan was saying before. That's what I was kind of alluding to yesterday, Linda. Is that it takes a long time, and you have to do a
Hmm.
whole lot to give a man full custody versus a woman. It
Yeah,
just
Yep.
they
yeah,
just here in Cali, they will let the woman go rehabilitate and come right back, and she get right back into her chair.
yeah.
But for
It
the
was
man,
it was it was her third. They was lenient on this woman. It was her third. It was her third strike.
mm,
Yeah,
so that's the only reason why
yeah.
she should have
So
got it.
yep. And so that was the reason why her husband got full custody. It was her third strike, although I believe that she really was trying to clean her act up. But you have to be careful with any kind of drug, when it involves kids. Now, the sad part about what I was trying to say about weed follows you, in Amber, and I mean not in Amber's case, but in in Shayla's case, she she now has Iman over there, and he is a chronic smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So that weed is traveling all around that apartment around baby Kai.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Evan was saying the
All
same
around
thing to
that
me.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
All around that baby. And then, Lord forbid, if Iman starred, I don't know, he probably smokes in his car too.
He does because he did say that he was gonna go outside and light up a joint in the car. So he did say that.
He probably smokes in his car. So Lord forbid if they have little baby, if they have little Kai in the car with him, that small space, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that smoke is compacted, and Lord forbid they go take him to the doctor, and the doctor smell weed on him that was smoked 3 or 4 days ago,
I see.
and it could be in his clothes. And then you gotta look at Shayla's bed. She always have little Kai in her bed, right?
That's true. That is true.
Iman lays in that bed.
Mm. That's true. That's true. That's true. Can the
And listen to this. We caught him on the sofa. He was lighting up one. He's on her sofa. So it gets everywhere. And then when a large amount is intaken, everybody in the house starts smoking, smelling like weed. And I know this for a fact because back in the day, I had a girlfriend. Her whole family, the mother, the father, the brothers, the sisters, they all used to have weed fest parties and card fest. They all smoked weed. So when you went in that house and when you came out, my mother was like, oh, coach, so this is how you gonna disrespect me? And I got my butt tore up for that because I felt like the people's house. You know what I'm saying? I came from an old school mother. Okay. So she wasn't having that. I couldn't tell her no, I wasn't. So at the end of the day, you have to be very careful of who you let come in your house and smoke anything,
so you're saying
even a cigarette. If you don't like cigarettes, then don't let nobody come in your house and smoke a cigarette.
I believe that. I believe that. So let me ask you this, and maybe Evan can answer this as well too. So okay. So if Iman is smoking some weed, right, and
Hmm.
but he's not. Let's say he finished smoking some weed. Based on that secondhand contacts from the clothes, I don't know if y'all have seen that. Would that pretty
Hmm.
much could that be something that could be tested and found on Kai? Meaning like based on the weed being in his clothes because him being on the sofa and him being on the bed.
Well,
In other words,
if he's smoking weed, let me first of all say this. He's smoking weed, it's on his clothes already. Okay, it's in his skin,
mm-hmm,
it's in its nails, it's on his hands. He's holding it with his fingers, right?
mm-hmm.
So when he goes pick up that little baby, that residue is touching baby Kai.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking.
and it's getting in his
Exactly.
skin, and that's how I end up in my situation because it
There you
got
go.
in his skin.
Gotcha. So
Right.
so so that basically could be something then. In other words, that could actually be something because it doesn't necessarily have to
Yes,
be the actual full smoke. Because that's what I wanted to see.
no, it
Because
don't actually have to be the smoke.
gotcha, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, okay.
It's on you, and depending on like, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. Iman don't even look like he washes his hands.
He
He
probably does.
doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't even look like he washes his hands. So Lord have mercy for baby Kai. You know. But yeah, if it's that, it can't get on you, on your skin,
Mm-hmm.
your hair. And that's another thing they got to be careful of, because if he's smoking weed around baby Kai,
Mm-hmm.
then it can get on his hair. And then remember, he's a baby, and baby follicles are very tender.
So they're
You
sensitive.
understand what I'm saying? As
Mm-hmm.
we get older, our follicles harden. But as a baby is still a baby, the cortex in the
Mm-hmm.
medulla is still very fragile and very thin, and it's steady growing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
To build strength on it. So therefore, he's most likely, if they was to take a drug test on baby Kai,
Mm-hmm.
well, if he's in that house and Iman is doing a lot of weed smoking, they can go as far as testing. If somebody says, "Hey, she's over there with my baby," okay, just say for Anthony, he's over there with my baby, and that guy smoked blah blah blah, and I think it's affecting my baby. Now, if they bring that to an attention, guess what? the courts can says, hey, we need to do a swab. They can take one of his hairs, and if they find drugs, through those follicles of little Kai's hair, she can lose little Kai. So that's why I said you have to be careful.
Well, that's so
And
Um,
if
Evan.
you
That's so
remember in
Evan.
the
Go
skit,
ahead, Evan.
if you remember in the skit when he was talking to Shayla, he got up and Kyle was over there on the floor. He walked across there and he rubbed the top of his head and he said, "All right, there, champ." He
Mm-hmm.
smokes with them fingers.
you right.
It's
There
different
you
with
go.
baby
See
H.
there? And you're right. That is the hand that he uses to smoke with.
That's the
So when he
spliff
went over there and he rubbed that baby's hair,
with a spliff on.
he
Straight
don't
with a spliff on.
realize he don't realize that he's transferring that.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. It's just the whole case is sad, but the thing that I do feel about Shayla that is going to be her biggest downfall, and I, as a you know, as dealing with people all my life, and being in this world, um, and I'm not afraid to say how old I am, but being in this world have I seen a lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I noticed, the biggest downfall with people,
Mm-hmm.
um, this right here is what get them in trouble. That mouth,
Exactly.
Anything that could be it.
that mouth. And in Shayla's case, I think the writers are setting us up for a grand finale in this one. But that mouth of hers, I know a lot of people cringes when they
Mm-hmm.
hear her mouth because Lord knows I do. Because
We can't
I've
hear
never
it.
been around, I've never been around a female like that.
We are
I
tired of
never been
hearing
around a female like that.
her. We are tired of
So
hearing her.
to hear like those type of people, I don't have in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear her mouth, that mouth is going to be Shayla's downfall for sure. And also her mother. Her mother is definitely is her downfall. And that mouth of hers is her downfall. Um, and so yesterday I noticed, O'Neill, that you was wondering what the guy was talking about when he was on the sofa, and he was telling her to walk and ground herself.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, Evan? You
I
remember
remember
that?
that. I remember that.
Okay, okay. So this is what he was trying to say. It's an old saying that people back in the day that used to say,
Mm-hmm.
the elders, grounded, meaning he's trying to tell her that she needs to go find herself, like start over. She need to get in tune to her psyche, because he's high, so I'm gonna speak on his level.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling her to get in tuned with herself and get in tuned with her psyche. So then when he also tells her, kick the vegetables, meaning that she's got to start letting some things go. But he's also telling her that she needs to start kicking things that does not um what I want to say this right, what they used to say to us back in the day, um, that she needs to start things that does not matter anymore.
She should let it go.
For say like Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
well, she needs to start kicking that out of her life. That's what he was trying to tell her. But she didn't understand that. So basically, what he was telling her, go
Mm-hmm.
outside, walk amongst the grass, walk amongst the dirt. In the olden day, they used to use grounding. That meaning to let all of that negative energy,
Mm-hmm.
let it go out of your system. So when you actually walk the grounds and you walk the grass, you are releasing all of that negative energy out of your system.
Mm-hmm.
You're releasing it. You're giving it back to nature. And that's what he was trying to tell her. Let it go. Give it back to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to replenish in so many ways. And it's not her fault. It's the woman who raised her.
Mm.
Angelina is an older woman with no wisdom. I hate to say that. She's a very bitter woman. And I think she used all of her hurt and pain experience. I believe she used them, um, her hurt and pain, and tried to put it on the prettiest daughter by living through Shayla. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? How
Mm-hmm.
she expected her life to go. She see these opportunities of men that Shayla is getting, and that's what she wanted for herself. It didn't happen that way because her mind was thinking about having a husband and raising her kids because she didn't want to be like her mother. Okay.
Makes sense.
So now she's got two daughters. She sees one that is just like her, but the other one she resents because that one is not like her.
Mm-hmm.
So she uses the one like her and to put all of the things that when she was young, she's gravitating towards Shayla with that and living through Shayla. And that's why Shayla is messed up.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. I like the you know the way you interpret the actual story. I'm gonna let
Yeah,
Kez.
it's messing that girl up. Shayla, I hate to say this, Angelina is damaged good. Um, Zachary is damaged goods.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony is definitely damaged goods. And Shayla, she's far gone. And
She's
it
out.
saddens me to see a black king be betrayed that way because I've always been an advocate for men, and I do a lot of nonprofit stuff
Mm-hmm.
for black men, and to see the things that they have, how they have Anthony portrayed as a black man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I have to turn off these skits because it's a little overwhelming to me, and I was raised by a strong man. So to see a man um, being put in a position like that, especially by a bottom feeder, that cringes my soul because I have brothers and I've never seen any of my brother wives disrespect them like that or
I
talk
thank
to
you for
them
that. I really thank you for that
like
because
that.
I thank you very much for that because I'm also a male advocate because I believe that and it's not that we're trying to. I hope women understand and don't feel like we're trying to call women down or so. But there are certain parts of the system that's
Mm-hmm.
written certain ways that a man can't really act upon that I feel like women don't really quite get. It's almost like it's like that thing of, and I saw it today as well again where a woman will hit a man a dozen and one times but him can't hit her back.
Yep.
That's where I'm coming from. So it's like she gets to get away and get off with a lot of things. Even with the system in itself just now, and I spoke about it, and that's why I kind of like these stories. Sometimes too, they get to me too, but I do understand that it's kind of what you actually live, and so that's why I keep doing what I do. You know what I mean with the entire just channel because I feel like all right, these skits have so many lessons in them. Some of the parts you're not going to like because they're so honest. I think you get activated because it becomes too honest.
You
But
know,
people,
you know what, O'Neill? Let me share this with you. I grew up. Um, I've traveled a whole lot in my life. I've seen a lot of things, and I grew up back in the day in the. Let me. Sorry about that. Um,
no worries. And when you're done,
okay,
Linda,
sorry about that.
when
I
you're done,
grew up
hold on,
in the.
Linda, when I'm gonna let you
Okay.
go, and then when you're done, I'm gonna let Kez go. Kez, when you come on the YouTube channel, just take your time. Just make sure you keep it clean. That's all. Cause
No,
YouTube
no.
might delete it.
Actually, I
But
was
go ahead.
trying to swipe the thing.
Yeah. No worry. Go ahead, Linda. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, so what I was gonna say, when I look at the Shayla and Anthony line and the way Shayla is brutalizing this man, I mean, she's getting them good. I mean, she be going in, okay? It's like a full-time job. So I was just thinking one day when I was watching a skit that she was really going off of him so bad this day. Um, and I was thinking, like, I grew up in the old Detroit, okay, when all the ballers and the players and the stuff was really going down, okay, when they was calling it Baby Paris. I was thinking if Shayla would have had met one of those Detroit men with that mouth on the first day, she would have never had a mouth like that again.
Let me just say it would have been different if
So
if she
I'm
was in
trying to
Jamaica.
figure out, is it something in the water in Atlanta?
They get away. They get away with a lot of stuff. They just get away with a lot of things. They get away.
I mean, is it something in Atlanta that we do not know about?
I don't know. I don't know. I know it's Vex Kez. Kez, jump right in, Kez. Jump right on in. Kez has been
Okay.
waiting to. Let me let Kez get in. Kez, get in.
Yeah, go ahead. Get in.
Kez, I think you're muted. You're
Yeah,
muted.
I can't
Take
hear
yourself
him.
off mute.
Okay.
There you go.
Now let me say this. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm born and raised in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
Carol City,
Okay.
Florida. And let me tell you something. Cheryl baby, so glad that Amber is not from Miami. Cause look, cause see, me, I'm in Georgia right now, but here's the thing though. A lot of stuff people do out here in Georgia, they get away with it. They
Mm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But in Miami though, oh
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
no.
So the
Oh
law is
no.
different. The law is different in Florida,
Oh
right?
yeah. Because listen, it's a lot of crazy things going on in Florida right now. But I'm gonna tell you like this though. I did it's some females that I know that who's really like that. Like I'm talking about they about their life for real for real.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Sheila baby glad that Amber's not from Miami because the warehouse Sheila did Amber,
Yeah.
oh, I'm telling you, it would not be a good look for Sheila at all. Now, far as Anthony concerned,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, man, let me tell you something, bro. When I say you is so weak, you are so weak. For
Yeah.
you
He's
to
you should have
allow,
written him. Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
you to allow that bottom feeder talk to you any kind of way, bro, you made me glad that wasn't me. Cause you can't beat me, bro. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why I would have. Listen, if I was in Anthony's situation, man, I would have said some things to Cheryl, bro. That would been. I would have hurt her feelings. Cause one thing about me, bro,
Yeah.
my mouth is full with is a knife, a sharp knife.
Mm-hmm.
Cause when I say
Yeah.
some things, bro, it's not gonna be pretty. And O'Neal, you remember what I said the last time about Shayla. And probably Evan and Linda, y'all probably don't know what I said about Shayla. So I want y'all to hear me when I say this about Shayla. It would be a whole lot better if Angelina took a plan B so Shayla didn't exist. It.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, uh-uh. No.
Well,
Now, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Shayla, y'all don't understand how wicked that female is, bro. Because
She is. She is. And I agree
she
with
is
that.
so
She's
wicked.
very
Like she
wicked.
had no remorse for what the hell she's done, bro. It's like, come
Yeah.
on. You acting like Amber did something to you, but it's the other way around. You was the
Yeah.
one that went behind her back and slept with her husband and got pregnant by her husband.
mm-hmm.
And then on top of all that,
Yeah.
you trying on her wedding dress.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
playing that with her
Yeah.
face the whole time.
She has done some
Yeah.
things. She has done some
You
things.
feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
That
come on.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
Shayla has definitely on more than one occasion has crossed the line. I'm talking about she crossed the line that
Mm-hmm.
is no point of return I mean, she really took it to another level. I, I never even watched a movie in all of my life that is deeper than these skits that they got going on right now.
And let me jump in for a second. Like, here's the thing. Like, you see, everybody want to talk about what Amber did when she cheated on Anthony with Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
They said that was bad, but nah. But this situation right here is way more worse than that.
Well, let me
It's
ask you
way
this,
more
Kez.
worse
Listen,
than that.
listen.
I got a question for
What
Kez.
Wayne got Wayne Tyler Perry got a whole lot of shady stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But
So it's Wayne.
what Wayne got going on,
It's
I,
something different.
I think I think when it comes to the shadiness, I can honestly tap on wood and says I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that Wayne has him beat when it comes down to the low down dirty shame.
To the Lord under the
Because
shame.
I've never seen nothing like Shayla. That's a whole I, I stopped calling her a human. She's got to be a damn alien.
I got
That's
a
it.
question. I've got a
He's a
question.
bottom
I,
feeder, bro.
I got a question for you, kids. I want to know
What's up?
based on with what's happening right now with Amber and David, because I have the question. I know my feel about it. What do you think about David coming in right now based on where everything is? And I want to get that too from Evan. I want to get a response from you to Evan. What do you think about that
To
right
be
now?
honest, it's bad timing.
Mm-hmm. And then
It's
Linda.
bad timing for sure because like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you bring the
Mm-hmm.
same child you adopted into the situation again? And you know for a fact the situation is messy and everything. And when I seen that on your reviews, I ain't watch the skit. I told you I'm not watching the skit no more. I'd rather
Mm-hmm.
watch your reviews than the skit. Now, for Amber to bring David into the picture again, it's not a good look at all. And you know for a fact Anthony doesn't care about David at all.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. So the bottom
Hmm.
line is, what I think about the situation, man, it's bad timing. Like it's not good. It's not the right move for Amber. Like she doing too much right now. And listen, and like I said, I want to feel bad for Amber, but I don't feel bad for her because like, why would you open the moment you open that door to let that man in? You know it's gonna be problems.
Mm-hmm.
But she
Hmm.
allowed it to, and the fact the matter is like Amber need to get it together. This the problem I had with her. She had no self esteem. She don't know her self worth.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
yeah,
Like, come
I would
on,
say
like Amber,
that.
get it together.
That's
Stop,
fair.
stop making all
Hmm.
these bad decisions. Like, and on top of that, you should have been divorced, Anthony. You know this man is still in love with Shayla. Deep down inside, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Deep down
Hmm.
inside, he is. Because the reason why
Yeah.
you and Anthony got together is both because of y'all exes. One, Anthony roll at you because that situation what happened with that stripper thinking that you was the father of a child, but you wasn't the father. Now, well, Amber, the
Hmm.
reason why you got with Anthony is because the way how Wayne treated you. And look what happened.
Hmm.
And that's why I said this to begin. There was never meant to be. They should never got married in the first place. All that. Because at the end of the day, Amber want to live all this fantasy life about being married, a perfect wife. There's nothing fancy about that. It's not real.
It's not
The
real.
love is not real and the chemistry
Hmm.
is not real.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, Amber, what you need to do right now at this very moment, you need to get yourself together, divorce Anthony, go on about your life, and whatever you're gonna do with David, go ahead do what you want to do with David. But far as anything concerned, you
Mm-hmm.
bringing David to the picture again with this situation that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good look. Not a good look.
Before I jump over to Evan, I got a question for you, kids. Say that you were in Anthony's
What's
shoes,
up?
because I mentioned this to the women, and I said that men have a problem where bringing a child into a scenario when I can't see my kid, chances are I may not treat that kid, what you call it now, the same way as my kid. Do you agree with that or you disagree with that? Give me a take on that. Then you can tell me as well to Evan.
My take it. My take is look. Even though I don't have no kids or whatever, but if I do have kids, like
Mm-hmm.
I would treat them all the same
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna treat them like differently. No, that's not me. Like I'm all because whatever.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a type of father, you feel me, would always be there for my kids, spend time with my kids,
Mm-hmm.
100%, take me where I go. It don't matter
Mm-hmm.
what we doing or anything else. And as far as like treating them equally, I would treat them all the same. Like,
Well, meaning
they're
like
my
with Anthony,
kids.
meaning like, so for example, the way how Amber has just brought in David, because David is not really his son, his actual biological son, but his biological son is somewhere else. I know that sometimes
Hmm.
can bring about a certain different in feeling. People don't want to speak about it, but it just happens. It's one of those weird things that is one of those touchy feelings where people say,
Yeah.
"No, I'm going to treat them the same," but then not quite. If you is what I mean, I just happen to bring it up. That's all it really and truly is. But give me a take on that.
It's cool. It's cool. And the fact is, like, Anthony, like, you see, my thing is with him, like, he just don't. He's how the hell you a businessman, but you allow females, my back, a bottom feeder like Shayla to talk to you any kind of way, and you're not using your brain cells. Why don't you just talk to an attorney? And matter of fact, you
Yeah,
need to cut.
you know,
You need to.
can I say something about
Mm-hmm.
that situation? And this is just clearly
Mm-hmm.
something that I'm seeing in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
About Amber bringing in baby David.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it's I'm glad to see baby David. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
now Amber, what happened? She got a shock. Okay, now listen to this very carefully. What
Mm-hmm.
she did here, which I'm happy for if she can get the baby back. But at the same time, why I feel that this is a sticky situation for Amber right now, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
give you my true opinion as a woman. Well, when the test results came back, allegedly
Mm-hmm.
that because that's still up in the air that it's Kai. So we're gonna go now that we got the test. That's what they want us to believe. That's still the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So Amber, when her sister had put that and planted that seed in her head that
Mm-hmm.
Kai might not been his, well, that gave Amber hope. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I'm hoping as a woman, okay, because I'm speaking as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this ain't because I gotta find some way to get rid of her
Mm-hmm.
out of our damn lives. Um, so she thinking that it's really the baby. It She can find some way to get them out of the life. Kai, uh, her mind is thinking, I got to get rid of that baby out of my life. But what Amber does not realize, Anthony has been touched. And once a married man has been touched and got the feel of another woman, it was already a wrap. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
that's
reason
exactly
why
why I
I
said
did not want.
she should have left.
Mm-hmm.
So when she went and got Kai, guess what happened to Amber? That fantasy that she was in, hoping that baby
Mm-hmm.
was not his. She got the shock of her life because she has geeked her mental psyche up, hoping and praying that that was not that man's baby. Now, the reason why I'm mad at Amber right now, because instead of taking that and marinating on that, and by Amber being a woman of God,
Mm-hmm.
she did not stay patient in God's word. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's what I
Just
said.
Yep.
because just because God didn't give her a baby right then and there, don't mean that God was not going to plant that seed in her at one time or the other. But
Mm-hmm.
Amber became impatient now. Now she feels, I got this baby. I mean, he's got this baby now. So I want something of my own. Now, because she got a shell shock,
Mm-hmm.
she got in denial and became in denial as a woman in herself. And so she says, I'm going to run and get baby Kai. The reason why I don't think that she should have baby Kai at this time, I mean, baby David at this time, because she's hurting. So now she got one hurt, then she brings Anthony back in.
Mm-hmm.
Now she gets the third hurt, seeing that Shayla baby is really Anthony's. Now she's setting herself up again for
Mm-hmm.
failure by going to run to go get that little boy and putting him in an unstable household mentally. Now, is Amber and Anthony house a good house? Yes, if they were um two people that was in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a two people marriage household. You got one person wants to be married and you got one person don't. So Amber is basically in a marriage all by herself. So now she's going to bring baby David into a marriage and she's still going to end up all by herself because she's thinking that this baby is going to make it right, but it will soothe her to keep her mind off of all of this stuff. That's one reason why I believe she went and ran and got baby David. It was not so much of doing it for Anthony,
That's right.
but on the down low, it really was. But she really did it for Amber. You know why? Because Amber looks like she's on a way to a breakdown. She literally almost lost her damn mind when she found out that test results came back and says Anthony is the father. Amber never took the time to heal. And I'm going to tell you reason why. I was married to a man like Anthony. I was lied on, cheated on, and everything. And I know I was a damn good wife to this man. But guess what? That's still not good enough. Once a man is out there, he's out there. So you can just stop trying to think, oh, I just want to be a good wife. That's the reason why I don't like her character because they keep saying good wife. It's not a such thing of as a good wife, but it is a such thing as a full package. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a such thing of a good wife. It's a such thing
Perfect.
of a full package.
Right.
Amber has the full package, but guess what? She don't know her worth. She doesn't even realize how much power she actually have in that marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She don't. She doesn't even realize her worth.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like you're right there. Hold on, Linda. Linda, let me hold on because I'm gonna get Evan into this. Let me read the super chat from Antoinette. Antoinette, thank you for the super chat. She doesn't have David yet. You guys have to realize that she doesn't write her skits according to her live page from yesterday. That's fine. We hear that she don't write the skits. We're hoping she's not writing all of this. Evan,
Wait, he says that Amber writes her own skits?
she doesn't write her own skits. They're saying she doesn't write their skits.
No, she doesn't.
She
She
doesn't.
doesn't.
She doesn't
She
write her own
doesn't.
skits. Mm-mm. She
But
doesn't.
she wants baby David back to feel that hurt and pain she's going through. And I can understand that. She's hurting bad.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
She's hurting bad.
It makes sense.
She's hurting bad.
I'm gonna let
And
Evan go.
in
Go
some
ahead.
form of fashion,
Mm-hmm.
that's why is in some form of fashion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Amber's character. And I really do want that for her. But because she's still a scorned woman,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think she's moving too fast.
I agree. That's where I lie as well to the Amber character. I love the character, but there are things that the character needs to clean up for me, before anything else. Evan, I want to
She's
ask
scorned.
Evan, talk
She's
to me on
scorned.
on
She's
the content.
hurt.
She says
She's
she's
got,
hurt.
and then she's got to realize and wake up
Mm-hmm.
that you cannot change a man like Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
He's a narcissist. I dealt with the narcissist for over 2 decades, a very wealthy and successful man. But at some point, I had to choose Linda. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It makes sense.
Forget about what you're bringing to the table. But when it no longer became healthy for me, and
I
when I
agree.
seen that I couldn't grow anymore, and I couldn't mentally
Hmm.
grow anymore with this person, and this person was a narcissist, it wasn't about the money. It was about,
Surviving.
who do I love? I love
Hmm.
me. Trust me. I love me. You know what I'm saying? I got to go. I can't do
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
agree.
And it's so funny because when you decide to let those particular men go, like Amber let him go the
Hmm.
first time, but her only mistake is she let him back in the door.
Mm.
Okay?
I believe.
Because this is the reason why. I want to say this to you guys. The reason why I said I was that Amber and I let my narcissist back in the door more than once. Okay?
Hmm.
And every time I thought that I can change this narcissist, or I will believe this narcissist lies that things were going to get better,
It got worse.
then it did for 1 month. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It did for a month, and that's about it.
And then look, the change 1 month. So every time I let him back in, it was good for one day a month. And then I seen he had a pattern. And then I said, oh my God, what the hell is I'm doing here? And then I was like, I said, oh, hell no. I was like, you got to go. It was just,
I
and
try to tell him it. Hmm.
do you know, to this day, he has been trying, to this day, um, you know, we've been married for 2.5 decades. Yeah, we were married like for 20 some years, Um, a lot of people don't last that long. You should think about giving us another try. I made a mistake. I'm out here now. And these women, listen, brother, go on about your business. Cause I had enough of that shit. I'm good for real, real. And that's and she's gotta learn that, because the only regret that I have,
Hmm.
that the first time when he left, when I put him, well, when he left or whatever, then I should have let him stay gone. And that third time,
Hmm.
that was on me. I can't blame nobody. Do you understand what I'm
Makes sense.
saying?
Makes sense.
I can't blame nobody.
Hmm.
So when everybody was giving me their opinions like they're doing Amber,
Hmm.
okay? And I said, no, I'm gonna have to find this out myself, because as attorneys, we're like damn detectives. We
Hmm.
can't let it go until we crack the case. Like, what is wrong with this brother? And I had to learn the hard way. So when I let him back into my world that third time,
Hmm.
I realized I am dealing with the no hope man here. It's him and his money. It's about his money. Don't make a difference if I have a good job. Don't make a difference of what I'm bringing to the table. It's still all about him. And then that's when I decided I need to
Let
let
it
this
go.
brother go and marry his money.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
You
I'm gonna
know?
jump. I'm gonna give Evan a chance to get on it. Evan, get me.
Evan,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Evan, I want you to talk to me about, like. Thank you very much, Linda, for giving me that. Cause that works. Evan, give me an idea of. I mentioned about the Anthony and David thing. Give me your take on that little piece up there, so. And you know me feeling about already. You know me think about it. I made a statement for men. You know me think about it. Go ahead, Evan.
My input on it is, I mean, no, I don't think it's a good thing at
Mm-hmm.
this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But with the social worker saying that it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 to 9 months, I believe if they take their time and actually go through that process,
Mm-hmm.
then that I will let that determine it. But for us, like if he had to come and live with them right now at this moment, no, I would be completely against it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Now,
at this point in time, Anthony mindset is not on nothing but Kai. His mindset is not on his
Mhm.
wife. His mindset is on Kai.
Yeah.
And with that also being said, I mean, as a father,
mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard, when you got your first child, and he been wanting to be a father for the longest. So I don't think that is that he don't care about nothing else but Kai. But at this point in time, with his mindset and the
Mm-hmm.
way that everything is going, it's, oh, I got to be there for Kai. I got to do this for Shayla. I got to do this because she has my child. And that the honesty about the whole situation, no, you just have to be there for your child. Your job is to take care of Kai, not Shayla.
Mm-hmm.
Kai. So what he's doing for is how he's going by handling it. I'm completely against it, and my wife had to get me to open my eyes up for it because I was running trying to do this for my son, do this for my son, do this, do that. And she had to tell me, like, baby, she's against what you're trying to do. Go to the court system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to do. And until you go through that court system and you get something done legally,
Mm-hmm.
you fighting a losing battle because she's going to always hold that above your head because she knows how much you care about your child.
You're gonna use
So,
it.
for as that situation, she's going to use it against him as long as he allow her to use it. For as little David coming back, yeah, I know it's going to make Amber happy or whatnot, but it's gonna make her happy for the wrong reasons because she's trying to use him as something to heal her when she needs to go get counseling.
Mm-hmm.
So for that child coming into that household right now at this moment, no, I'm not in agreement with it, and I'm hoping that they can go through this counseling process, and maybe it'll make Amber strong enough to say, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do this. I told you this is what I need. If
Mm-hmm.
you can't support what I need, you can't support what I want, then she'll leave. But at this point in time, she's not going anywhere.
She
She's
definitely
stuck.
ain't going nowhere. Let me ask you
No,
this.
she's
Let me
definitely not
ask you
going
this,
nowhere.
Evan.
She's stuck.
Evan, let me ask you this. So, okay, let's just say the 9 months pass with all of the things that happened for David. The 9 months pass, they do all of the things they need to do. David comes back and Kai is not back. This if this is a you and you are in Anthony's shoes, how are you
No,
feeling at that moment?
no, no, no. Until I get everything situated with my child, I cannot accept another one.
And that's what I was kind of putting toward the ladies in the comments. I was saying that's kind of how I'm, because it is tough, to know that your
It's
kid is
hard to
out there.
accept another child when you can't even be a part of your own child life.
I'm glad I get some clear
Anthony need to
answers.
stop being Anthony need to stop being fake and stand up and be a man on both
Hmm.
ends.
That is not doing. That is for sure. That is definitely not doing. And I love how Linda has listed based on what Linda has mentioned in terms of with the Amber character. Because I have been saying that with the Amber character that Amber has to realize that we've been telling her from a man's space that Anthony's playing around, but I don't think people
Amber
people
need
get
help. Amber need counseling.
people get when men are playing around. We know we can see because we're males. I mean, we know such
But I ain't
plenty
gonna
of
say
things.
I'm not gonna say so much as he's playing around right now. I believe that he knows that what he had a baby by ain't worth of nothing, but and he's realizing now that his wife is who he needs to actually have and be with, but at the same time he still has a lot of growing to do. And I'm just gonna be honest and upfront with you. My wife told me this. Me and my wife been together now 16 years.
Hmm.
And she told me a long time because I went through a lot of childhood trauma just like Anthony went through.
Hmm.
And until you seek help to try to find a way to heal from that, if you
Hmm.
don't find a way to heal from it, you ain't gonna never be able to treat nobody else well because you ain't healed. You're a damaged person.
Hmm.
And Anthony is a damaged person. That's why he keeps saying, "Oh, my father this, oh, my father this. I don't want to be a deadbeat like my father was." And it's not so much that his father was a deadbeat. His father was a middle class working man.
That's what I thought
and
too.
he wasn't there the way he wanted him to be there. And sometimes that's just how it works. You're never going to be able to be there 100% the way you want to be, or
Hmm.
your child wants you to be.
I
And
agree
that's
with that.
what happened with Anthony, and it turned him into a very damaged person. And it's the like they say, the saying is, hurt people, and he's a hurt person, and he has rubbed that off. And I'm just hoping that Amber don't turn around and end up being the type of person that ends up picking up his ways.
That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of because a lot of time men come in and they treat women terrible, and because of how one man has treated them, they tend to carry that on to treat the other men terrible, and maybe that's why
Not
us
just the
men
other
reacting
men,
like
they
that.
end up treating everybody that way. They end up
Well, there
treating
you
their
go.
kids that way.
Mm-hmm.
They end up treating their family that way.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just another man that you got to worry about her treating that way.
It's just
It's
people.
the simple fact of the matter is she wants to get baby David back,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the hurt and pain that she's going through, she could turn around and spaz out and put that on that child.
That's what I thought of
And
too.
then when she do that right there, then everybody be saying, "Oh well, I can't believe she did that to little David." She's a hurt person. Hurt people hurt people.
Mm. So you're seeing it in that light as well. That's kind of a good way to
So
look
she
at it.
could turn around and not only hurt another person, she could
Mm-hmm.
turn around and particularly hurt that child because he might get sick. He might start crying a lot. He might do
Mm-hmm.
something that she's not used to him doing. Because
Mm-hmm.
as of right now, she sees him as a perfect child, but little David been gone for a while. He's done got up the size. He's gonna get into things.
Mm-hmm.
And if she ain't mentally stable enough to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
she could turn around and hurt that child, grab him the wrong way, or anything.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Not pay him enough attention, and he jumps off in that pool.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen because she's not completely healed enough, and she's not trying to get the counseling that she needs so that she can be a better person. Because as you can see, she done put her Bible down. You don't hear her reading. You don't see her reading it no more.
I don't see that. I don't see that, and that is true. That's why I've been challenging that, because she said, she feel like it's God that has kind of given her this thing of taking David on. I'm like, I don't know if I, I don't believe
That's
that because
somebody that
because because
that's
I
somebody that is hurt and wanting what they want.
mm-hmm,
She wants what she wants at this moment. She feels like if she gets little David there, then that's going to get Anthony to say, okay, well, we have a son here now.
mm-hmm,
And that's not going to do that. Anthony's mindset is on Kai.
is on
And
Kai at this
Anthony
point in
needs
time.
to stand up and be a man and get custody or visitation rights to Kai so he don't have to deal with what he's dealing with because at the end of the day, he's going to end up taking that frustration and
Out on
anger
the
that
kid.
he has with Shayla out on Amber.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna let
Now, I'm waiting
Killers.
for a skit because I got a feeling that skit gonna come today, the night where he comes home and snaps on her because you see how he looked at her the other night
Mm-hmm.
when she said, "Oh, Shayla, get over it." He's not looking at the fact that she's saying, "Don't worry about Shayla,
Mm-hmm.
worry about Kyle." He's not looking at that.
Yeah.
He's looking at the fact that she's just saying, "Oh, Shayla, get over it." Oh, well, it's your fault that Shayla's not letting me see my child like I want to because you forced me to get a DNA test.
Mm-hmm. He'll look at it like that. That is true. That is true.
That's how he's gonna look at it because
Mm-hmm.
when she said Shayla would get over it, he looked upside her head like, "What you talking about?" Because he's not looking at the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fixated and wanting to be a father so bad
Mm-hmm.
to where he's not looking at everything else that's around it. He's not looking at that Shayla's using that child to try to find a way to pull him down.
Against
Because
him.
she's down and out right now. She don't want to really she don't care to be with no Armand. That's just a crutch for the moment.
So you think it's just to pull? It's just to pull Anthony down. So Shayla's just trying to see if she
Yeah,
can
it's the
pull him down.
it's the pull try to pull Anthony away.
Mm. That makes sense. It makes sense.
It's
It
just to
makes
try to
sense.
pull Anthony away. If Anthony told her right now, I'm gonna leave my wife and I'm gonna come be with you and I'm gonna buy you a new home and we gonna be a family, she'll tell her mom bye. She'll tell him to kick rocks.
You believe she'll just be back with him in 2 seconds?
Yeah, she'll tell him to kick rocks. What have he done for her? Since they've been together, the only thing he have done for her was gave her the you know what and bought her some flowers.
A bouquet of flowers. You probably could buy that bouquet for probably about, I don't know, $20. That's so much expensive for her. I love it. I love it. I love it. Kez, you look like you wanted to say something, Kez.
Yeah. Let me jump right in, bro. You see, it was a lot of things that Evan said and Linda said. It hit the nail right in the head, especially with Amber, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Linda, I totally glad that you see you started to realize what I've been saying about Amber, cause we all been saying it for a while, for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And far as like Shayla concerned, I don't care nothing about Shayla because I really don't like her at all. O'Neal, you know that. And it's just the fact that like Shayla is using Kai as a pawn.
Which happens.
You
Which
know what I'm saying?
happens.
That was exactly what she's doing.
Guy is
Mm-hmm.
just a
And
money pit
Anthony,
for her.
it's the money. Like it's all about the money. And you know, Shayla is a gold digger. She got it from her mama. Her mama is a gold digger. I wonder why Mr. Bro is not with her no more. I wonder why, cause I don't blame him. Cause hey, that side chick he got, hey, she fine. Anyway, anyway, anyway,
you
she
think
was
you
way
think
better
wait, wait,
than
wait,
Angelina.
you think
Anyway,
you think Pamela's got it going on? You think,
you of course, of course, like, bro, she's not like, oh. She's not like Angelina. That's for one. And
mm-hmm.
for two, like she's doing what a real woman is supposed to do. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Other
not
things.
argue with her, not argue, no do none of that. And Brody is in a good situation with Pamela. I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
for him. Cause I'm glad he's not with Miss Woody Woodpecker. I'm glad he's not with her. But anyway, to answer your question, Pamela is hot. She's hot,
I'm putting the
hot.
question out there. So just ask the chat right now. I'm asking the chat: is Pamela hot?
Hey, y'all keep it real, man. But hey, but
Go
let's
ahead.
go. Let's go as with Anthony. So for Anthony's part, like
Mm-hmm.
you see, my thing is with Anthony, man. What pissed me off about him is that like you feel me. You had this bottom feeder feel entitled that she could disrespect and do whatever and talk crazy to Amber because you made her do that and because you allowed it to.
Mm-hmm.
And to see, my point of it is with Anthony is the fact that, bruh, you're not realizing because at the end of the day, you're not realizing the fact of what you're doing, bruh. You're trying to have control not only with Amber, you're trying to have control with Shayla of what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause deep down inside, like I said, you still in love with her. You just can't stand the fact you don't have no control over her. You have no control over her.
Mm.
You know what
There's
I'm
a
saying? Because
control.
you allow Shayla to have so much power to do whatever the hell she want. Cause mind you, she don't have no job. She can't afford a doorknob. She's not even worth two slices of bread.
She's not worth two.
She's not. She's not.
Man,
It's
hold
plain
on,
and
Kez.
simple. Cause like, bruh, yeah. And then what's funny is a lot of people when the comments be coming at me, the people who loves and defend Shell and all that, they like to come at me because I be saying all these things about Shell. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say what I want to say about Shell because I don't like her. And the fact that she's a Virgo,
You don't like Virgos? You've dealt with Virgos before?
yeah, it was this female I was dealing with, man. She's a gold digger too. I had to cut her off completely because I'm not with all that. And this this is how I all went down. So basically, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. She talked about I got enough money to spend on her anyway, but I told her this. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you're not used to dealing with a man who put himself first instead of a man who's not putting himself first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to end it with her, and cause I couldn't stand it, man. She was like, trying to play games with me, but guess what? I'm too smart for that. And she know for a fact, like you can't control me.
So
I'm
because she's
not
a
Anthony for one.
well, for sure. I mean, Virgos. So the Virgos. Linda is a Virgo, you know. So Linda defend the Virgos. Linda defend the Virgos.
I'm a Libra.
Only thing,
Let y'all know.
only thing that I can say,
Mm-hmm.
there is some Virgos out there that it's messy. I had a coworker, like every Virgo I've known, even Virgo men. Um, Normally they say two signs can't get along, but even with Virgo men, like we have a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something about those late Virgos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm wondering, is Shayla one of those late Virgos? Because I'm a 9/11 baby. I'm a 9/11 baby.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not gonna lie. It's something about those late Virgos are a little touched. Because I had a coworker who was she was shady, and she could play Shayla good part really well. But and then one day she came to work and she was like, "Oh, my birthday," and I was like, "Your birthday is in September," and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a Virgo," and I was like, "You lying? I know you lied." I said, "Girl," I said, "I know you lying." I said, "You couldn't possibly be a Virgo." So yeah, every now and then I gotta to stick up for the Virgo family.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some touch ones.
Some
We
touch
do
points.
have some touch ones. Because here's the thing. I was always raised to be humbled, but I was always raised also to work very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank the Lord that I've never been a gold digging woman. Never done it. Never will.
Thank you.
Um, I just can't get down like that. It's not in my spirit. And then too, I was not raised like that. And I take a man and see a man from if I'm dating a man, then and if I'm interested in him, well, I'm gonna take him where he's at because I'm a type of woman that is a go getter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see something that that man is lacking, and I'm not ready to date him because for some ever reason I don't see him got the game right, but I do see there's a lot of good and potential with that man, then I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna become that man's friend first
Mm-hmm.
because it's rather for me to stay out of his way so he can work on him
Mm-hmm.
than for me to accept him when he's in a dry place and then try to force something on him that he cannot even do for himself. Make sense of that. So why would you be asking a man that is struggling, I need this, I need that?
It makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You can't do that to a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you go out and continue to have fun with that brother? Of course. And even now and then pick up the tab. And then if you see him that he's short on something, at least have the brother's back because he's still a king.
Depends on what
And
he's
that's
short on.
what's wrong with, huh?
It depends on what he's short on. Sometimes you can help him out, but sometimes you can't help him out.
No, 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 no. What I mean
I
on,
gotta run, y'all. I gotta run, y'all.
I'm not talking
Y'all
about
have
on
a
that
good
level.
night.
You
Y'all have
did.
a good night.
You did. You didn't think I caught that, but I caught that. No, you nasty. I caught that one. I caught that shit. You thought I didn't catch that. I caught it. I caught it right out the sky.
Look, I,
Well, we ain't gonna take
it's
we ain't
fine.
taking it.
I'm gonna have to run because the live went on longer than I wanted to. I know apparently me have to hop off,
Yeah,
but I love this.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Linda, for coming on. Thank you very
Oh,
much,
my
Kes, for
pleasure.
coming on. Thank
My
you very much,
pleasure.
Evan, for coming on
Thanks
as
for
well.
having me.
Guys, have a wonderful night. I'm gonna be
You
myself.
too. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.